Hey out there, this is Buzz with the Survival Buzz. So I haven't made a video in a few days. My job at the juvenile center, I've started working 10-hour days now instead of 8-hour days, so it's kind of wearing on me. I'm trying to adjust to my new schedule. At first I thought, this will be easier because before I was only getting one day off a week, trying to get those hours in, make up some money. Um, this way, if I work 10-hour days, then I get 2 days off, so which is well needed at this point. I'm quite exhausted, honestly. So yeah, I haven't been on here in a few days. I haven't made any videos, and I was kind of researching some stuff earlier, looking at some news and things, kind of trying to decide what I'd make a video about. A lot of things going on in the world right now. I read, they didn't grant the emergency order for the jab for the children. I think it's 4 to 6 months. Thank God. They're not even done with the trials, and they're trying to, approve it. So there's that, and then the whole talk of war being imminent. Mainly the U.S. pushing this, but apparently, I briefly read an article, and there's other countries even jumping on board the fear porn wagon with this stuff, trying to say war's going to start tomorrow, pretty much. And then of course the food shortages, all the normal stuff going on, all the fear porn out there about everything. And granted, is a lot of things going on out there. Don't get me wrong. It's not all just jibber jabber. But I had kind of a rough day at work, and I guess that's the main thing on my mind, other than, telling you guys some news that you could read for yourself if you wanted to. It was one of those days where I was nose to nose with kids wanting to fight me, as well as other kids that wanted to talk with me, talking to them about how to pray and give faith in God that everything's going to be okay, because he's the kid I was talking to is soon to go to jail for a while, to go to prison, and he said he's going to be raped every day. It makes you wish they would have thought about these things before they'd got in the position they're in. But nonetheless, I talked with the kid. I told him, you need to have faith in God at this point, and whatever he decides, go with it. Quit trying to control everything and just have faith, and what is meant to be will be, and you just grow from there and you move on. And after telling him that, I kind of realized maybe I should be telling myself this at times, and that comes back to what I was saying about reading all the news, everything going on, and getting all hyped up about things and worried about things, and it really does us no good at certain points. Not to say that you should put the brakes on at all. You should keep prepping hard for sure, because it's coming. But it made me realize that this is more of a good and evil type fight, as opposed to just what's going on in the world. If you really break it down, it seems like just pure evil is going on. And the more of us that just give in and just go along and don't try to change things and pray and do the right thing in life, the faster this thing is just coming and not stopping. A lot of evil in the world. Maybe it's time that God cleanses the earth a little bit. And I never started this channel with the intention of it being trying to cram God down your throat. That's not my intent. But hey, if I can reach a few people out there about it, I think that's awesome, because he sure has changed my life. And I wouldn't be where I'm at today, and wouldn't have the great family and friends that I have, if I hadn't given my life over to him. And this guy at my work today, I know I'm kind of bouncing back and forth with my story. It's just, I guess, just one of those days, like I said, and there's a lot on my mind. But I work with this guy today, and it's amazing how many religious people I work with, and how many God-fearing people I work with where I'm at now. It's almost like God put me there for a reason, I feel like. But this one guy was saying he was fasting, and I can tell this guy, he's not from a religious home like me. I wasn't raised in the church. Everything I've learned, I had to learn on my own, growing up. But this guy I work with, he's even older than I am, and he basically didn't have church in his life and God and things growing up, so he's trying to learn it as he goes too. And he said he wanted to fast when he came in this morning. I'm wanting to fast to try to quit sinning. And he asked, like, how long are you supposed to fast? Like, he really didn't know. And there was another guy there that's deep in the faith, I feel like, and I kind of put my input in. I said, well, some people do it for days, some people several days, you know. But then this guy said something that really, I don't know, it kind of hit home with me. Um, he said, instead of trying to just altogether quit sinning, you know, that was this guy's reasoning for fasting. You can't just expect to fast and wipe all your sins away in one swoop, you know. And he compared it to like a house, you know, a building. And there's parts of that building that you want to save. So, of course, you don't want to just come in with a wrecking ball and knock walls down, right? He basically said you had to come in there, you know, and brick by brick remove them, you know, over time. And it was somewhat of a metaphor, but, you know, basically the point of it was, you know, God doesn't expect you to just get rid of all these sins that you commit, you know, on a daily basis. We're not perfect and people sin. He doesn't expect you just to get rid of all that overnight, you know. And to fast is basically, you know, your way of telling God that, you know, I can get rid of this in my life for some time to get closer to you. Or at least that's my belief of it, you know. Don't throwing stones at me if you think I'm wrong. Everybody has their own beliefs. But God doesn't expect you to be perfect. But he does expect you to try. And showing that you care and that you know he's there and putting faith in what he has to give you, good or bad. Quite some time ago, probably a few years ago, I decided that, you know, I will no longer just feel comfortable when things are comfortable. You know, I wake up every day happy that I'm alive to see another day and thanking God, but at the same time I expect bad things to happen. And that doesn't mean I want to curse God over it. So I'm not trying to stand up here and do a sermon for you. I guess it's just been one of those days, and seeing all this dismay in the world with the war that they think's imminent, and then, you know, the shots and the sickness and you know, just everywhere you look, just fear. And then as well as just, here's a new phone, here's this, here, watch this, you know, pay attention to this. It's all just smoke and mirrors at this point, and it really, I think people need to start looking at the bigger picture here. You know, I'm still a prepper. I still think everybody out there should prep. You know, get prepped up as much as you possibly can, because this thing's coming. But at the same time, you know, we need to be praying. We need to be getting closer to our Creator and realizing that the simple life is really the way it should be. The further away I get from all the shiny things and the closer I get to God, and just, you know, every day being happy with my family and things, and hard work. You know, my job is very exhausting. You know, taking care of animals is exhausting. Planting for gardens is exhausting. You know, prepping food is exhausting. I mean, it is. But I have to do my part. God gave us this up here for a reason. So the only way we're going to get rid of all this darkness before Jesus comes back is for all of us to do our part to make this a better place for us, for our kids, for our grandchildren. So I'm asking everybody out there to help. The only way we're going to bring light into this world is if everybody tries. And I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I am. But I get caught up in it too. And I feel like everybody needs to really take a look at themselves and get closer to their Creator. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you hear, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later.